It has been a phenomenal 2 days here at the Paul John Single Malt Experience Center here in Goa. I think as a fan of the brand, it's been really exciting to kind of see the nuts and bolts of their process, which is unique. Obviously, every whiskey maker has a different process, and it's really kind of crystallized my understanding of why the single malt tastes different and unique compared to other brands in its class. It's been really interesting to kind of hone in on the 6-row grain that they use here from the Himalayas, which is very different to the 2-row grain used most places of the world. Seeing the maturation rooms and understanding how they're kind of really working with the climate in a constructive way to develop the whiskies. I think one of the big exciting bonuses for me the last 2 days being here was getting a little preview on some of the new projects that the brand is working on. Obviously I can't go into too much detail, but I'm very, very excited as a sort of long-standing fan of the brand to see the new things that are going to be coming on its portfolio. Great to see Michael, the Master Distiller here, and just kind of get in his head a little bit about his creative process. That's been really interesting, and I think, you know, for what is really a relatively young brand in a very old industry, I think there's a lot to be excited about. I think we've just seen the beginning of Paul John Single Malt.
I was here at the Paul John Distillery about 2.5 years ago, and when I heard about the creation of the Visitor Center, roughly I guess about a year and a half ago, I was very, very excited by the prospect of having a world-class experience center at one of India's finest distilleries, and I've been waiting to come here for the longest time. So finally being at the experience center over the last 2 days and having a far more, I'd say, intimate connection with the craft which has gone into the creation of Paul John's range of single malt whiskies has been a truly memorable experience. And it's great that now India also has a visitor center to match possibly anything in Scotland, because I've been to multiple experience centers all over the world producing different kinds of spirits, and being here has been absolutely transformative, I'd say, in my perception of what India can produce in the nature of different whiskies and different expressions of that whiskey. The craft which Michael D'souza, the master distiller, brings to the whiskies, and the patience and the precision which comes to the whiskies is truly magnificent. So I'm really proud as an Indian per se to be here and to witness the birth of this single malt revolution in the form of the Paul John Whisky and Paul John's Visitor Center.
I think it's just great, and every time I come here I learn more. I look at what Michael is doing, I see all the experimentation he's doing, how much thought he's putting into things, and the vision that he has for what he might achieve. Yeah, it's just great. And this time I had so many friends who I haven't met in a while, so catching up with them and buying bottles of Paul John as always. As always, I think the last 2 days have been really, really nice.
The past 2 days has been fabulous. This is my first experience of any kind when it comes to alcoholic beverage at a visitor center in India, and we've had a great 2 days. Most importantly, you know, the knowledge that has been shared to us, our questions being answered, and of course the journey of, you know, discovering what it takes to make great whiskies, and of course tasting them, and great hospitality. We had a wonderful time last evening. Very well taken care of, and I think the visitor center is at par with any other visitor center across the world.
Well, so from the beginning, it's a wow experience. For me, one of the biggest, most amazing thing was just driving into the driveway and seeing the beautiful center. It stands out, the facade, the colors. Everything is so beautifully Goan, and the artworks and all the glassware, the furniture, everything is so well done. The entire staff here is so helpful, super, like they're answering all the questions with absolutely nothing held back, which is such a lovely thing to have. Like, it's about the joy of sharing. Like, this is something I love. I would love to talk about it, and it shows in your eyes more than it shows anywhere else.
I think it's been a fantastic experience. In fact, I came here a year ago before the distillery even opened. And it was exciting to see, how much work was going into it. I think the beauty is in the details, really, and actually more than anything, the beauty is in the people. So you come here and it feels like you're walking into somebody's home, and everybody's very excited to share, you know, how the whiskey is made, how you know, Paul John Whisky came to be. And it's not only limited to the whiskey also, which we're going to, you know, see in time to come. But I think anybody who comes to Goa, whether you like whiskey or not, you should come down here because it's a new experience. And I really think you'll walk away, you know, with a new appreciation for what Indian whiskey is becoming. Cheers.
I think the whole experience with John Distilleries from yesterday and today has been incredible, and just to go through the entire process of how this craft comes together has been incredible. I think the clarity, the whole craftsmanship and how it's done, and the whole Indianness to the soul has been, I think that's what I appreciate most about it. And you know, I think it's a whole international experience that John Distillery is really bringing to the table, and that to me is an outstanding thing. Yeah.
I can't believe, first of all, I mean, coming here, I wanted to make sure that this place actually existed because nobody believes that a distillery like this is doing what it's doing in India. So that was one, and it is. It's fantastic that the effort, the work and effort more than anything else. I cook for a living and I know what effort it takes, but this is absolutely incredible. And the last 2 days has been an eye-opener for things and the work we can do in India in the luxury market, because of course whiskey is a luxury thing. It's not a thing you need every day, or you shouldn't need it every day, but the way Paul John has executed this enterprise is incredible, and I've just been shocked and surprised in a very, very good way in the last 2 days. So thank you, Paul John.
It was my first visit to a whiskey distiller, and I was amazed as to how much goes into making such fine single malts. The passion involved, the depth that everyone here at Paul John get to creating these fine single malts was excellent. Definitely experience that everyone should go through.